high school at 17 years old, finished her bachelor's at 19 years old, and now law school is in the bag. Gerline used to show resilience by being insightful. She wanted to learn how to get better. Thank you, Gerline, for being the best sister in the world and inspiring me to work hard and never give up.
Hi, my name is Ethan Kinnan, and I dedicate this poem to my mom. Life, it's like a long game of baseball, throwing different types of pitches at you. Some good pitches and some bad pitches. And my mom, Shasta, had to deal with one of the worst ones. Divorce. Bam! She was hit by this pitch, and she wasn't ready for it. But she wasn't going to quit. She kept on fighting. As Babe Ruth once said, never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. She showed acceptance. She knew that God had a purpose for this, and that the future would turn out great. She made it to first base. Then came along harder obstacles, finding a job, giving her kids food and shelter, and trying to find time to drop her kids off at school, pick them up, and more. She would jump into shark-infested waters just to make sure her kids were safe. Now she had made it to second base. She still had faith with her. God was a big part of her fight, and he gave her many opportunities and helped her a lot. 3, 4, 5 weeks just searching for a job. Then God came along, and she found a great job to provide for her family. She bought a little house closer into town on her own. She had made it to third base. By this time, she keeps her heart of gold with her. She could see the home plate in her sight, the good, the future. By this point, she has optimism, hopefulness about the future. She knew that in a little bit, it would all be good. She worked as hard as she could, giving her kids a great life. Now, she had crossed home plate, feeling like she had hit a home run. She was happy, her kids were happy. Her kids were happy, and she was happy and healthy, and life was going great. So thank you, Mom, for giving me a great life. Thank you for working hard every day so that I can be happy, and thank you for showing me that when things get hard, when the world hits you, to never give up, and that when you think it's over, when you think a positive future is nowhere near, that it's there, and you have to work hard to earn it.
My name is Drake Langholm, and I dedicate this poem to my grandpa. Problem solvers, independence, faith. Those are some resilience words that my grandpa Jack had. He had faith at building and working as his own restaurant, day after day, night after night, week after week. Working so hard he couldn't spare any time working, until, pow, my grandpa Jack was diagnosed with bronchitis. The world hit him hard, day after week, into month after year. No response if he would get better or worse. Treatment after treatment, but it got even worse. Jack got arthritis and fell to the ground. After all that, all you could hear were sirens and watch red and blue lights fly by you like a speeding bullet. Day after day, Jack got worse. The budget for Jack was $52,000 just to stay in the hospital. And we had to work more than usual. Our sweat was like a flowing avalanche, working day by day. As Rosie Jackson said, I feel like the most important requirement in success is learning to overcome failure. My grandpa was a falling building. He couldn't move, he couldn't speak. Just getting weaker step by step, nothing works. From hospital to center, bones were broken in half by weakness, and blood was spilled and flesh was gone, but he never gave up. Thank you so much, Grandpa, for inspiring me to be who I am and to catch up on my dreams.
Hi, my name is Haley Meeks, and I dedicate this poem to Dr. Braun. Abuse. Imagine being afraid to go home, having the fear of walking in the front door because you know yesterday is just going to repeat itself. You try to be brave, but you just can't take it. Ba-boom, ba-boom. Your heart beats like a drum. Your heart sinks in your chest. And you open the door to see your mom standing there. Your legs are jello. You try to run, but you can't. You seem to be standing there for a million years. This happened to Brian Braun day after day, month after month. How do you think that makes a 6-year-old boy feel? He felt hopeless, confused, and defective. Why was he the one person his mom hit? What was wrong with him? Why did it have to be him? Even though all of this was happening, he stayed strong because he had faith, personal responsibility, and he stayed optimistic. He knew that one day she would stop. Day after day, month after month, he stayed strong. Oprah Winfrey and Dr. Braun both struggled with abuse. Did either of them give up? No. Instead, he learned to forgive and forget. As Aisha Mirza once said, it's not the bruises on the body that hurt, it's the wounds of the heart and the scars on the mind. Dr. Braun, you have inspired me in so many different ways. Thank you for sharing your story with me. I now know to be grateful for what you have, for you never know what could happen until it does.
Hi, my name is Jacob Musser, and I'm dedicating this poem to my mom. Jobless. Julie Musser lost her job, and it hit her harder than a rock against glass. Faith, strong social support system, and survivor. My mom never stopped. She sought guidance and found it. We lived in the small town of Osceola in Indiana. My siblings were old enough to understand what was happening, yet I was only 2. People believed in her, and she never gave up. As Robert F. Kennedy said, only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly. She started looking for a new job and continued looking for openings. First, she had 4 children in her care whom she would never give up on. She did find a job, and the hours didn't matter to her. 2, 4, 6 hours, tick-tock, the time would go by, she wouldn't care. She did this for one reason and for one purpose, for her family, and nothing more. If she hadn't kept going, I may not have been here. I could have been living under a bridge. Mom, you've got me so far in this life and have taught me how to never give up. I love you more than you can imagine and hope perchance you can prosper in the job you now possess and know that you are still doing it for the same purpose, me.
Hi, my name is Rashad Patel, and I'm dedicating this poem to my mom and my dad. Imagine sleeping peacefully at night and waking up in a fire. Well, that's what happened to my parents, Meena and Bert Patel. My parents recently moved here to America to start a new life. At the time, I was 1 year old, and I was sleeping in my crib, and my parents were sleeping too. Beep, 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 waking to a growling fire, slowly trapping them in their own house like a lion entering their jail cell. My mom grabbed me, my sister, and my dad and left the house, waiting, and waiting, watching the firefighters go door to door, watching their house slowly incinerate down to ashes, all of their clothes, their money, their house, gone, poof. Starting life over again with no money, barely any clothes or food. 1, 2, 3 months of this endless torture, which felt like a year. Anything bought cost an arm and a leg, but this didn't stop my parents. They were optimistic, they were determined, and they had a strong social support system to back them up. As Bruce Lee said, do not pray for an easy life, pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. And that's what they did. They sucked it up and started sweating to support their family. As Albert Einstein said, life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Step by step, the puzzle pieces of life started coming back together. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for doing everything you can for me. You went through all this pain for me to make me who I am today. You have shown me that you will go through the toughest times where you have nothing, but you have no choice to get back up and fight back. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for being the most loving people ever and being the greatest example for me and the people around you. You're my heroes, and you always will be, and I will always love you.
Hello, my name is Ben Presley, and I'm dedicating this poem to my dad. Disease. Nausea, overly tired, fever, and pain. No answers or explanations. Finally, Eric Presley visited the doctor. Boom. Lyme disease. Suffering in the stillness of sickness. My dad was diagnosed with Lyme disease in 2010. His children, Ben Presley and Anna Presley, were only 4 and 6 years old at the time. My dad was still on the Presley show. Until one night at the Presleys, my dad jumped off the stage and instantaneously, nausea washed over him like the waves of the ocean. Exiting the stage to sit in a chair, my dad was brought back to his house. A visit to the doctor revealed that my dad's spinal tap had popped out. Faith, acceptance, and sense of humor are just few of the many attributes of resilience my dad has shown. 1, 2, 3. As Robert F. Kennedy once said, only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly. The months seemed like years as he was still under the influence of the tick. His blood pressure skyrocketed as he was so nervous to know what happened next. The tick was an enemy that never left. This whole tick experience was a ripoff. My dad finally overcame this disease. He was back in the show and was better. And then he started to have physical issues. With the show, you have to do stunts every once in a while. He did. He broke many bones. Bone after bone after bone. Snap. They just seemed to keep on breaking. And even to this day, my dad still has knee issues and is planning to have another surgery. Dad, you have inspired me in so many ways, and you have gone through so much, and I love you so much. Eric Presley, such a strong man. My dad has overcome all these things. He has overcome them with the help of doctors, family members, and friends. I honestly don't know what I would do if my dad wasn't here today. My dad had gone through disease, broken limbs, and physical hardships. Thank you for everything you have ever done for me, Dad.
Hi, my name is Carla Sines, and I'm dedicating this poem to my dad. Depression. Carlos Sines know the depths of despair that depression brings. Depression is like a black hole that never ends. At age 17, my dad knew the feeling of depression. As David Mitchell once said, "You say you're depressed, but all you see is resilience." His family was poor, with almost no food, crossing the Mexican-American border, all alone. But he had to use his faith. He had to be a survivor and accept that he was all alone. 8, 9, 10 tries. He kept getting caught and finally made it across. It took him 2 weeks to finally know that he was safe, but even a crunch of a leaf will get him spotted. So he had to step silently as if he was a ninja. When he crossed, he only had a loaf of bread and a bottle of Coke. With no job at the time, he kept searching and finally started working as a car washer, only speaking Spanish. But my dad pushed through. He even began to learn the language and fought for a better job. At this age, he even dreamed of having a taco truck. And to this day, he does have one, a successful taco truck. And Dad, this has inspired me to not give up on any of my dreams. Thank you so much for putting me in this world.
Hi, my name is Abby Shields, and I'm dedicating this poem to my aunt. Autism, a word Elizabeth Sumter heard not once, but twice about her children. The words hit her like a train. Boom. Years of stress and frustration followed. She had to be committed. Imagine coming home from a long day of work to 2 young children crying. People asking the question, are they okay? What's wrong? Why? She had to put her faith in God and the experts to give her the advice she needed. She had to be persistently patient and productive, waiting for things to get easier. Every morning the house awakened, leaving her the choice to get up or stay down, but staying down meant failure. Optimistic, acceptance, strong social support system. 3 traits Elizabeth and her husband had to be strong in. Long days, taking care of her children that aren't like everyone else, but she's fighting for their better lives. Long days, working for her family, even when things get hard, but she's fighting for that success. Like Christopher Reeve once said, don't give up, don't lose hope, don't sell out. Thank you, Elizabeth, for showing me to take things as they come, and that there is a lesson with every situation, and even in the hot water, even if it could take 1,000,000 years for things to get better. You keep going. You're a shining light. Thank you.
Depression, something that a lot of people experience but nobody wants to talk about. People become depressed for multiple reasons. Bad family life, drugs, loneliness, and much more can cause it. But you can never imagine something bad happening to you until it does. That's what happened to Samantha Mitchell. Sexual abuse, father committing suicide, and drug use. Imagine this, feeling scared, confused, lost, and hurt. Her anger was a bull, strong and powerful, not being able to cope anymore. She turned to drugs because it helped her mask what she was feeling. But the feeling only lasted a little while. She felt like she was alone in this world, like a rock in the middle of a soft, sandy, sunny beach. The drug abuse got to be too much. The drugs held her tightly in their grip. But then things changed, just like that. Click. She had so much support, enough to fill the whole world.